Hi, it's Sam Wilson, the Sam Wilson Home Selling Team at eXp Realty with this month's market update with some real optimism for both buyers and sellers in the Denver metro real estate market. I'm using the Denver Metro Real Estate Market Trends report for October that just came out this week with the results year to date through September. So the information I'm about to share with you is just the facts. It's very fact-based, from which we can draw some very optimistic and inspirational conclusions from. So with no further ado, let me get right to it. The very first page of this report, let me get out of the way here. The very first page of this report has a good summary on it. And it shows that first active listings at the end of the month, which is also known as inventory, which you're hearing a lot about in the news, was about 4,000 homes available for sale. And this was up almost 11% versus the prior month. Yeah, it was down versus last year, but I'm going to focus this video and report on prior month growth, month over month growth. So first, we want to take a look at the inventory, which is increasing. This is obviously good for buyers. There's more homes to choose from. Closed homes were actually down. So the number of homes went up, but the closed number of homes went down, which means there's more product for buyers to choose from. And then this is really interesting. I'm going to focus more on this as the theme of this month's report for the last several months. But look, month over month, prices were only up about 0.8%. Here's the problem. In the news, what the media is reporting is usually this number, that it's up another 15% over September of last year. So September 21 versus September 20, yeah, it was up 15%. However, I'm going to focus in on what's happening this year and why this is very different news, which is good for both buyers and sellers. I'll get back to that here in a moment with another chart. And you can see the median price, which is actually a better indicator than average price, because there's as many homes sold above 530,000 as there are below 530,000. So this smooths out the curve for price range, meaning if more homes sold in the $1 million plus price range, this levels that out, because if more homes sold in the higher price ranges, that brings the average up, but not the median. So this is more good news that the median price was actually down about 0.5%. So that's very optimistic. And the other interesting number here is that it's taking 13 days now for a home to get listed to go under contract, and then about another 30 days to close. But that's up significantly from earlier this year when it was as low as 7. So while it's gone up 18% for the month, it's about doubled for the high point from the high point of the year. So these numbers tell a story. These numbers tell the story that buyers have more opportunity now, and sellers have to be a little more realistic about price growth. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump to page 10 of this report. And as I jump here, I'm happy to share the entire report. We're very transparent. We're happy to share it with you. It's public information and should be shared. I'm also happy to always jump on a phone call or Zoom or anything you want, just to have a very open and honest conversation. Not only what's happening in the market, but what's happening in your neighborhood or even with your house. It's always free. There's never any obligation, no salesy realtors here, just real, accurate, transparent market information to help you make good decisions about buying or selling, or both. So let's jump to page 10 here, because I think this is really the story. And this is the story of price growth for the year. So this is total residential sales prices for the year. So if I scroll down just a little bit, you'll be able to see the months. So you can see that right here was the last big jump from 551,000, and that's the average price and 473,000 median. These had very large jumps from February to March. So you can see that right here. And then again from March to April. But look, this was the last big jump from March of 21 to April of 21 was the last really big price jump for the year, month over month. Because look here, from May all the way through September, we're now seeing some stabilization. This is real stabilization. If you look, June was the same average and median price. I'm sorry, July. July was the same average and median price as May. Look at that. So that says prices are leveling off. So I'm not sure where the news is coming from that prices continue to jump month over month. They have definitely leveled off because look, in September, prices were actually down slightly. Yeah, it's only $2,000 average and median, so let's call that flat. But look at this, stabilized prices ever since April. That's the real story. So while there still are a few bidding wars out there, there is still some over list price sales taking place. That's not the norm anymore. The numbers tell the story. It's clear as day. So if there's a bidding war on a property, it's typically in a lower price range, and typically it's a little bit underpriced. Now, what does that mean for buyers? Well, this page really tells the story. Buyers both have more inventory to choose from. I showed that on the earlier page, and they do not have to get into a bidding war. Sure, if it's the house you have to have, then by all means, let's get out there and make an aggressive offer to make sure you get the house. But covering things like appraisal gaps and agreeing to no inspections, not sure you have to do that anymore. And in fact, we do not advise that to our clients right now. So let's be aggressive, and realistic, but let's not get crazy right now. Interest rates are also ticking up a little bit. I know it's kind of funny to talk about, but just because they've gone a little bit over 3% still means it's the best interest rates in history. But because they have ticked up from, say, 2.75 to a little bit over 3%, well, that means you're going to have a little higher payment for the same price point. But it's not a big difference, at least not yet. So prices are stabilizing for sellers too. So let's talk about that. The opportunity for sellers is to, if you are thinking about selling, now is a good time, because as we move into the winter, we're really looking at buyers that need a house, that are going to close and are still going to pay the highest prices in history. So again, let me be clear. Prices have leveled off. They have not decreased. And these high levels that we achieved ever since April, these are unprecedented prices for the Denver metro area. These are the highest prices in history. You have more equity than ever, and it's definitely a stable market. So it's not quite an equilibrium. It's still a seller's market, but it is definitely a stable market for you to sell in. So for sellers, there's a couple other messages. One is, if you're looking to sell and trade up to a larger home or downsize to a smaller one, now's the time. You can find buyers who are willing to pay fair market and give you time to get sold and closed, if not even rent back for a little while, so that you can find a replacement home. Here's the other message for sellers. With the highest equity you've ever had in your home, it might be time to consider all the options. Whether it's a cash offer from one buyer that closes fast with no hassle, no inspections, taking the property as is, or you want to open the property up to all the buyers out there, create more demand, more showings, more offers, and a higher price, it's time to consider all those options. And I have that platform for you. I can show you, again, free, no obligation. It's not salesy. It's simply a transparent way for you to see what a cash buyer right now will pay for your home. And I'll bring you a real cash offer, or what you can list it for on the open market if you want to deal with showings and maybe some inspection issues, and all the buyers to help get you the highest price. Yeah, it's a few more hassles, but it may be worth it to you for the highest possible price. So there's all kinds of options for sellers out there. And for buyers, if you want to become a cash buyer, we have some lenders that will turn you into a cash buyer as well, which is a win-win for you and the seller. So with that, I know it was a little bit longer video than usual this month, but I really wanted to emphasize this point. I don't know where some of this news is coming from that's out there. I really don't. Everything is fine. It's actually a very healthy residential real estate market for both buyers and sellers. Hey, I'm Sam Wilson, the Sam Wilson home selling team at eXp Realty, and I'd love an opportunity just to talk with you. Let's talk about what's happening in the market and how you might be most successful in it. Give me a call anytime, 303-770-1250. You can also text that number, email me, and of course, check out all the helpful information on my website, samwilsongroup.com. Have a great day.